What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the 1817 Project, here to have a conversation and not a debate. Before I get started, I gotta say, working my way through this ongoing war that our nation is currently a part of, the left and the right just going at it, it's definitely a lot worse than it has been in the past, and it's increasingly getting worse. People don't want to believe we're in the middle of a war, but we are 100% in the middle of a war. I mean, y'all got to remember, it was only a few months ago that Charlie Kirk took a bullet to the neck. I mean, it's looking pretty bleak for our nation.
We're all gonna die.
I gotta say, me trying to understand both sides, be impartial, looking at the left, looking at the right, and just trying to work my way through the middle and hopefully find some unity and bridge the gap between the two parties. I know it's a massive feat. It's just me and it ain't looking good. You know what I feel like? I feel like that captain from Pirates of the Caribbean. Y'all remember what I'm talking about? I believe it's the movie At World's End, and he's literally just flabbergasted, and he's just going down the steps while both sides are just firing away, and he's just... I mean, it's just insane. To the topic of today, I've got some interesting tidbits, further continuing the discussion of ICE and immigration laws, deportation, and what the Trump administration is currently doing.
Well, we're waiting.
The first thing that I did was, and I'm going to let y'all know exactly how I worded it, I printed off different articles, not just from one source, but I believe I got 3 sources. One of which is a AI generated response where it went flying through the internet and grabbed all the information that I could probably grab. And I got an AI generated response. Do immigration laws trump the 5th and 14th Amendments, the rights that undocumented immigrants have? Let's get into it. Starting from the top. And here's what at this point, with how fast AI is just transforming and just continuing to grow, I mean, I think it has a personality of its own at this point. I think that's about as unbiased as you can get. I mean, I'm assuming, because obviously when it comes to the internet, the right dumps crap in there, the left dumps crap in there, and then it just tries to weed its way through all the crap, and this is what it crapped out. I've never used crap that many times in a row. No, immigration laws do not trump the 5th and 14th Amendments for undocumented immigrants. The 5th Amendment guarantees that no person shall be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. And the 14th Amendment extends this protection to all persons within U.S. jurisdictions, regardless of immigration status. This means the government cannot deport or detain undocumented immigrants without following fair legal procedures. I'm not gonna lie, for the right, not off to a great start. Continuing on to what our AI friend has pulled from the internet. Key constitutional protections include right to due process. Undocumented immigrants have the right to a hearing before an immigration judge before deportation. Right to legal counsel. While they do not have a right to a government-paid lawyer in immigration court, unlike in criminal cases, they can hire one and are entitled to representation. So basically, obviously, it's not like normal criminal court for American citizens when it comes to immigration court. They can have legal counsel, but they have to pay out of pocket. You got it. Next, right to challenge unlawful actions. They can challenge government actions such as unlawful searches and detention in court. Basically saying that if an ICE agent shows up and they believe that they were detained unlawfully, they have been here legally, they haven't broken any laws, they don't have a criminal record, they just show up and slap them with tear gas and just chunk them in the back of the car. Whenever they actually stand before a judge in immigration court, they can bring that up, and that can be brought against the agents involved in the situation. Right to appeal for asylum or other relief. If they fear persecution in their home country, they can request protection. So basically, I don't really have to explain that one's pretty straightforward. Undocumented immigrant comes across the border, makes it across the border, is able to get around our border protections, is here for like 10 days or something, and then gets picked up. You can say, oh, I'm here because I'm being persecuted in my country and I'm fleeing. When that is brought up in immigration court, I don't know how extensive the background check is into that, as far as, okay, is this person just lying? Officials to, I don't know, go down the road to their country and go, oh yeah, this place is a piece of shit.
Well, this sucks.
I don't know. I don't know exactly what goes into that process, but man, it's freaking cold out here. They do have a right to bring that up and say, hey, if I go back to my country, I'm gonna wind up in a shallow grave. Basically what that means. Also, what the AI generated response brought up was different court cases that have actually happened that have been documented. If I'm saying these names right, I'm probably going to butcher them, but I'm going to do my best. Player versus Doe, 1982. Undocumented children have the right to public education. Interesting. Zadavdays. I probably majorly screwed that up.
Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Versus Davis, 2001. The government cannot detain immigrants indefinitely without a hearing. And the last one, which I've seen this one pop up the most, Yikyo versus Hopkins. Equal protection applies to all persons, not just citizens. Moving on to Forbies. I should probably know what that is, but sure, let's see what they have to say. Okay, what type of rights do they have? I think we've pretty much already gone over this, but we're going to do a quick rundown of what Forbies has to say. The right to a hearing before deportation, the right to apply for asylum or other forms of protection, the right to be represented by legal counsel out of their own expense, the right to challenge unlawful government actions, protection against indefinite detention, meaning if they get captured by ICE, they can't just toss them in a hole somewhere like this is, Spartan 300, just.
This is Sparta!
So this is a small caveat, this next part. At the border, migrants without papers may face expedient removal, a process that allows for a swift deportation without a full hearing unless they express fear of persecution. In that case, they must be given a credible fear interview with an asylum officer before they are removed. So basically what that means is if an undocumented immigrant tries to cross the border illegally and our border agents capture that individual before he disappears into our society, they can at that point be immediately removed from the United States. In the moment of capture, they can shout from the rooftops, I'm seeking asylum. At that point, everything is paused. They do get to see an asylum officer before they are removed from the country. And if that asylum officer deems it a credible threat, a credible reason for them to stay in our country, then at that point, it would proceed further past that. But if not,
take care now. Bye-bye then.
Don't worry, we're almost done.
Thank you!
look this up if you were curious, and obviously so was I, and this is the main eating factor of this as well. Would a criminal record deprive them of these rights? Another AI-generated response. Criminal record does not guarantee immediate deportation for an undocumented immigrant, but it significantly increases the likelihood of removal proceedings. While a criminal conviction is a common reason for deportation, the process is not immediate. After being arrested or convicted, undocumented immigrants typically go through a series of legal steps before deportation. If an undocumented immigrant is arrested, immigration authorities, ICE, may place a hold on them after release from criminal custody, awaiting removal. Removal proceedings. These are handled in immigration court, where an immigration judge determines whether deportation is warranted. This process can take months or even years, depending on case backlog, which means for those undocumented immigrants, sadly, buckle up. You're probably going to be in a detention center for a while. Well, this is a key tidbit. It says being undocumented means you're already subject to deportation regardless of a criminal record. A conviction makes it far more likely, but deportation is not automatic or immediate. It requires legal proceedings unless under expedient removal rules. Crimes like aggravated felonies can trigger faster removal, especially if committed within 5 to 10 years of entry. Basically what that means is if you have an extensive background in all sorts of crimes, as far as the worst kinds, rape, child abuse, murder, the odds of you missing out on those proceedings very, very high, and it increases the likelihood of you just immediately getting deported. Now, per Trump and his administration, the individuals that they are going after do have a criminal record. The undocumented immigrants that they find have a criminal record, and those are the people that they are forcing out of the country. Now, like I've said, are there situations where an undocumented immigrant is just here illegally and that's it, and they get caught up with all those other bad people and they miss out on some rights? Yes, no system is perfect, whether it came from the left or if it came from the right. No system is perfect. It's not perfect, but Trump did say that he was going to tackle immigration. He's completely, at this point, shut down the border, and now he's going after all undocumented immigrants. So yes, it is a nasty, it's a bad situation because of the laws, the way they are written. To answer everybody's questions, undocumented immigrants, even though they are not citizens of the United States, they do have rights, and they do have the right to stand before a judge. If an undocumented immigrant is captured and has a criminal record, they still have rights, but their chances of seeing those rights or even being deported the next day are very, very high, especially if it's happened within the last 5 to 10 years of their capture. Yeah, hopefully this was helpful. This is the 1817 Project, here to have a conversation, not a debate. Please leave your comments down below if you found this helpful. Send some information my way, send some articles my way in the comments section. Goodbye.